Namaste. For TV9 News, this is Priyanka Deo. Climate activism seems to be a new career and life choice for many people these days. The most known example to you may be Greta Thunberg. An Indian climate activist that has recently been in the news includes Disha Ravi, who was arrested in connection with a shared toolkit on farmers' protests against the central government's 3 farm laws. Now, by definition, a climate activist is a person who advocates for issues on climate change. This includes topics like global warming, greenhouse gases, energy, and their impacts on the environment, people, and animals. But climate activists like Greta Thunberg and Disha Ravi seem less bothered about climate change and more interested in criticizing the government and Prime Minister Modi for issues that have nothing to do with climate change. Now, perhaps the reason that these climate activists cannot talk about climate change is because, believe it or not, India is doing quite a bit for our environment and people. Under Modi's schemes, clean cooking gas has been given to 15 crore families in India. 367 million LED bulbs have been distributed and installed, which has saved millions of kilowatt hours of energy and close to 19,000 crore rupees to date. The Jal Jeevan mission aims to provide clean drinking water to every household in the country by 2022. 10 crore toilets have also been built to date. In addition to this, India has launched the world's largest cleanliness program, Swachh Bharat, under PM Narendra Modi. And according to studies, lakhs of lives have been saved due to less spread of diseases thanks to these initiatives. That's not all though. An international solar alliance has been formed with India leading the way. Now, this is a partnership of 120 countries which are committed to make the best use of sunlight. In fact, India's solar power capacity has increased by over 11 times over the past 5 years. Now, solar energy, when implemented, will help the environment greatly by reducing emissions significantly. Looking at all of these positive changes in climate affairs being done for India's environment and people, it should be the Indian climate activists like Disha Ravi and 9-year-old Licpriya Kangujam leading the way to improve the environment and country and to use their influence to empower others to do the same. Now, climate change is something that does not happen overnight. It takes years, even decades of effort, including behavioral changes, sustainable policies, and strong implementation of these policies. Imagine if these climate activists actually stepped up, used their influence to help India become a cleaner and healthier place, and then contacted international climate activists to get on board and help out as well. Instead, these climate activists choose to spend their time commenting on issues that are completely irrelevant to climate affairs. Licpriya is 9 years old and, according to Twitter guidelines, is not even allowed to have a Twitter account. Twitter requires people using the service to be 13 years of age or older. Licpriya also shares a video on the farmers' protests. In the video, she states that she doesn't want to say whether the farm laws are good or bad, but then inadvertently implies that the farm laws are bad, which is taking an anti-government stance. Now, her opinion is fine, but 2 problems with Licpriya. She says, and I quote, "As a climate activist, it's my moral obligation to support our farmers." The first problem is that Licpriya is 9 years old and does not have enough education to call herself a climate expert. The second is that the farmers are not the ones at the protest site. It's the landowners and the middlemen that are protesting and rioting. In fact, several farm unions have already pulled out of the protests. With that being said, 21-year-old Disha Ravi holds a Bachelor of Business Administration from Mount Carmel College in Bangalore. This gives her no expertise nor experience in climate affairs, political affairs, or even legal issues. 18-year-old Greta Thunberg just finished lower secondary school, and in July 2019, Time magazine reported that Thunberg was taking a sabbatical year from school. Well, finishing secondary school is great, but it makes Greta nowhere close to an expert or leading authority on climate affairs. She says it herself in her video. Check it out.
I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you?
Yes, of course, anyone including Licpriya, Disha Ravi and Greta can be vocal on issues related to climate change and on other issues as well. But the problem is that these climate activists act as authorities and experts on issues that they have not even studied about, researched well enough, or know enough about. Therefore, I implore you not to be misled by these climate activists. Now, some of these activists do not even have a complete education, let alone any expertise on climate affairs, legal issues, and/or political affairs. Most importantly, they seem to be interested in doing just about anything to gain fame rather than actually helping the climate and/or the environment. What do you think about these climate activists? Are they good or are they bad? I want to know your opinion, so make sure you leave them in the comment section below. Also, like and share this video with your friends and family. And last but not least, subscribe to TV9 News. With that being said, I'll see you next time on TV9 News. Till then, this is Priyanka Deo signing off. Namaste.